Alright, so I'm going to add oil and check the oil in my hub, and I'll show you how to do it too. There's a cotter pin that's right here that I already took out. There's a cap right here with 3 screws in it, and they are I can't see the size of the Torx, but it's a little Torx. Doesn't have the number on it. They're right here. There, if it'll adjust, there we go. So it's one of those. I mean, that's not that hard to figure out. I just don't have my glasses on, so I can't see nothing. And then we're gonna knock these studs right here out with a real hammer and not a dead blow. And then there's a bolt right here, and then there's a bolt right there where my finger is. You take those 2 off and the caliper comes off. And I know the filming is shitty. I'm doing it by hand, and I'm trying to teach whoever doesn't know, because I didn't know. I had to do my research, and it took me a while to figure this out. But I got to see how much oil we got to put in it. But here is the hole. You take that out, and there's the screw head. I just have this fancy, Allen head wrench on a socket. I can't see what this is. I'm trying to see what it is. 3/16 maybe? I don't know. I'm not familiar with standard as much as I am metric. So that's where you're going to get a syringe like this. And you're going to fill oil up in the syringe, and then you're going to squirt it in here. But you're going to do that after all of this is back together. I got to put wheels on here. These SS wheels, ITP, and I got to knock these studs out because they're not long enough, even with the spacer right here. 2-inch spacer, still not long enough. So I'll get back with you in just a minute. I'm going to try to walk you through this whole process, all right? It shouldn't be too hard. There's like 5 bolts on the back of this rotor. I've already had the other side off, so I did the other side, and now that's why I'm filming this side, because I have a little bit of a clue of what I'm doing since I did the other side over there. So I'll get back with you in a minute. Okay, so now you can see there's no studs in there. All I do is take this hammer, and just like I showed you, just tap them, tap them, tap them. All right, and then we're gonna video this process because this is the part I don't like. So we're going to take this castle nut off here. We're going to sit it down over there. And then we're just going to stack everything. That came off next. And then, let's see here. Trying to get this out. It's not the easiest without my pick, but I don't feel like getting up to go get it. All right, there's the outer bearing. All right. And I don't know what else is up in there. We'll have to see. I'll be back in a minute. All right, so I'm going to use this here. It's a 1/2 inch, and it's a swivel. And I'm going to put it on my impact and take off that nut right there. And that nut right there. And your brake caliper will come right off. All right, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I got those 2 bolts off. This should come right off. It should. Yeah, it should come right off of there. Hold on one second. I'm just trying to be careful. Alright, so it's off. Instead of hitting on it up like this, I pulled from the bottom up and it popped right off. I didn't even need the hammer. So let's see what we get with this. I'm trying to film it and not forget what I'm doing here. Alright, so that's what you got right there. So if you're only wanting to do what I'm doing, then leave all of this alone. Don't mess with any of that. That way all you got to do is put in this bearing, a washer, and a castle nut, and then you would want to put in your cotter pin and then the black cap, which all that stuff is right there with 3 screws. So it's not that hard. It's just knowing where everything goes. And this is for a 4-wheel drive, because obviously this wouldn't be here if it wasn't a 4-wheel drive. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do now is make sure there's nothing in there, excuse me, and then those 4 bolts right there come out, and then I can get my longer lug nut studs in here. Alright, so the next move is these 4 right here, and I think they're 14 millimeter. I'll let you know when I come back. Okay, so that's what it looks like when this is off, when your brake rotor is off of the hub. And now I'm going to go get my longer studs, wheel studs, get those pushed in. I'll show you how to do that part the best I can. I'm going to need 2 hands and I don't have a way to video it. But all you do is put them in, and then they tell you don't hit it with an impact, use a ratchet. So that's on you which way you're going to do it. I feel confident enough that I'm going to use the impact because I've done this so many times before, just never on this machine. So, and I've never had an issue. So I'll get back with you in a minute when those studs are in. You know when you're ready. Mm-hmm. Just take the stud, stick it in there. Hit it like that a few times. It'll sink it in enough. Or all the way, either way, whatever you want to do. Screw this all the way on. Take your 17. And go until it stops. And that's how all 4 of them are. That's how I did all 4 of them. So then you just take this hub, slide it back on here, the same way it came off. If I can turn the wheel straight, it'd help. And then slide your brake pads open and put them on the rotor after you put the hub on. I did it backwards. Got ahead of myself here a little bit. But this just goes back down on here. And you put your 4 bolts back in. Then you put your hub back on. I'll get back with you in a minute.
Okay.
Make sure you push it all the way back to where your seal is in there. And then open up your brake pad, slide this in. Should just pop right in. Once it gives me a hard time, it's all full of rust. It's no telling how long it's been since this bike has even been ridden. It's just that bad. Alright. Line up your rotor with your holes, or the brake like that. The caliper, just move the caliper around until you can get one started. I can't seem to get one started. Alright, you can pause it. Okay, I'm back. This is what you should have. It should look like that. And I'm going to show you how to put it back together instead of just saying reverse the order. Because that is so ignorant. I mean, not everybody can just remember how they took it off to reverse the order. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the reverse order. So let me get the phone squared away. Alright. And then you take the first thing that wants to go in is the last one we took out. That's your outer bearing and race. Oh, told you this was going to be hard. Hopefully you guys can still see the washer, then the castle nut, so that's how it should look. The castle nut, the washer, and then the outer bearing and race. And then just tighten this up. This does not have to be tight. I mean, it doesn't have to be extremely tight. It's not like a motor mount bolt. It's going to have a... I usually go finger tight with these things. As tight as I can get them. And then just turn them a little bit. Like that. Where that hole lines up. And then we just stick the little cotter pin back in the hole. And I'll get back with you after I get that cotter pin in the hole, because that's not wanting to go in with 2 fingers. So let me get that in and I'll be right back. Alright, now there you go. I got the cotter pin in. And then I folded it down on the sides, on the bottom. There, you can see it right there. And now you just take your 3 screws with your cap, place it in where you want it, tap it in with this little dead blow is what I use. They're a little rough to go on and off. It is a 1998. Who knows if anybody's ever done this before. I don't know. The hub was dry. There wasn't even any fluid in it. So, alright, everything is tightened up. The 4 bolts on the back of the rotor plate. The 4 lug nut studs we beat in with a hammer a little bit and then use the impact to screw the lug nut on to tighten it. And you want to get it flush like that. It's got to be flush or it's not in right. And you definitely don't want that coming out while you're riding. So let me get these 3 screws in here. And I'll get right back with you because I got to adjust this cap. I got to turn it a little bit. And I'm going to need both hands. And that's what it should look like when it's all done. Rotors are old, but it is what it is. So now you just take your wheel spacer and you put that on like that if that's what you're rolling with. And then you put these little nuts that they gave you right back in here. The ones that come on the wheel studs, on the wheel spacers, they come with the nuts already right there, but they even tell you they go in there. And then your factory bolts goes on your wheel, and that's what it'll look like. I'll be right back with you when I get this on. And I think these are 17 millimeters. Everything else was like 14 millimeter or ½ inch. They both seem to work. They both seem to fit. I don't know if it's a ½ inch or a 14, but there's no play on neither one of them. On the bolts on the back side I'm talking about. And then these are going to be 14 if you have the stock nuts, lug nuts. These right here, 14 or ½ inch. That's what holds the wheel on. All right, let me go ahead and zip these on. I can't do it with one hand, unfortunately. So I will get back with you. Give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. I don't have a torque wrench. I haven't been telling you guys to torque on any of this stuff. And that's my fault. I take responsibility for it. But don't be like me. Use AI, at least on your phone. AI will tell you what the torque is for all this. I got a cheap China knockoff DeWalt right here, Impact. So I just use it until they stop. As soon as they stop turning, I stop with the gun. It's common sense. It goes on, it stops, it's tight, stop. If the gun stops, don't just keep hammering on it. That's all I'm trying to say. It's hot out here, guys. I'm over here panting. I'm not even a big dude, man. I mean, I'm 6 foot tall, probably about almost 200 maybe, right around 200, but it's 110 outside with the heat index. Boom, you can see it's bad. So I'm trying to struggle out here to get this done. Now all I gotta do is put 4 more on with my rim, the 4 nuts, but lug nuts, but they don't go on easy because it's such a tight fit in these rims. I mean, if you can see, I mean, that hole down in there is so small, you have to have a skinny impact. And they have to be impacts, with the skinny ones, or you can't even get the impact in there. So it's really a pain in the rear end to get this done. But I'm going to see what I can do for you guys. Alright, I'm going to try to put that back on. I'm in swimming trunks. They're soaked. Look, crazy, man. Arkansas for you. 501, baby. Alright, I'll be back with you as soon as I can. And the wheel will be on and the jack will be done. Down, sorry. It's hot. And there it is. That's what it should look like when it's done. The tires are 25 by 10 inch wide by 12 all the way around. The rims are 7-inch rims, 4+3, all the way around. So I'm happy I get to go inside because it's so friggin' hot out here. I feel like I'm in a swimming pool. The humidity is so bad. Alright, I'm done with this video. Hopefully you guys learned something. And the last thing we got to do is, well, we got to pull that cap back off because I forgot to fill it up with oil. And I think I got to take the rim back off, which is the hardest part. So, but anyway, you just use the syringe and fill it up. I got to Google and see how much it takes. Oh, put it to 4 o'clock or 8 o'clock on the weep hole, the drain/fill hole, and then you fill it up until it's level with that. I'll show you guys. I'll just show you guys. All right, let me pause this and rip this wheel back off. Damn.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, I just took the syringe, I laid it over the oil, and I filled up the syringe. And I'm going to go with 4 o'clock. You can go with 4 or 8 o'clock. And that's all you do. It's already starting to come out now. I don't know if that's because I put it in too fast or if it's full, but we're about to find out. All right. Okay, well, it's dripping out of here, so I guess I need to get a new one of these caps here. So that would explain why there was no oil in it. All right, well, that sucks. All right, I guess I had to oil a new 4x4 cap. All this in the heat out here for nothing, and I had the wheel on too. All right, that's a wrap.